My 32M wife, 35F, wants to be a foster mom for the wrong reasons. We have been married for 7 years and have a 6-year-old son. We had both thought one kid was enough as we can barely afford our apartment and expenses. 2 days ago, she said she wanted to be a foster mom. Before I could tell her we couldn't afford to take another kid, she explains that the government would give us money to temporarily take a kid in. She said that we can pay as little money for the new kid and keep excess money for ourselves. I find this immoral as I believe foster and adopted kids should get the same love as our natural born. When I explained my concerns, she simply told me I could either be part of her life or not. How do I convince her not to do this? The money is supposed to be for the kid. She needs to see it your way. Anything other than that is plain wrong and immoral. You are a good human being, please don't let her convince you of doing this. You are correct. Your wife's proposal is nauseating. When I explained my concerns, she simply told me I could either be part of her life or not. That's disturbing. Please make up your mind now to fight for primary custody when your marriage almost inevitably collapses. How do I convince her not to do this? Quietly let the folks who do the interviews and background checks know that you have grave reservations about the suitability of your home and your wife's understanding of foster care. If she goes through with this, they will interview you. Be honest about her intentions, and also, do you want to be married to this HPR rival person? Your wife's character is appalling and you should be concerned. Well, you can tell her that social service agencies, prosecutors, and judges take the care of foster children very seriously. At least in my state, children in the foster care system are wards of the court and the case is overseen by a judge with regular court appearances. Everybody involved has an attorney, even the children. What she's suggesting is not only a quintessentially awful way to treat a child, but it's also arguably criminal. Fraud and child neglect come to mind. My 19F brother, 21M, is dating my ex, 21F, and it's ruining our family. This is a long one, I'm sorry. I'm a 19-year-old female, my brother is 5 years older than me, and my ex is a bitch. TW. Overdose. Back in 2010 I met this girl, after she followed my brother home from school. I was 7 and she was 9 years old when we met. We became best friends fast, we would hang out every single day. After about 6 years we ended up dating and it lasted for about 8 months. She broke up with me by saying, "I don't like girls anymore." After our breakup we continued being friends and she started to date my big brother. At this time, I was 13, she and my bro were 15. From 2016 to 2020 I was in the middle of her and my brother's relationship. She told me way too much about everything, and every time they had a fight, both of them would talk shit about one another to me. It was usually up to me to help them settle their disputes. I started to slowly realize what a shitbag this woman was. I realized that during our friendship she had blackmailed me to stay friends with her, had used me to get to my brother, and just altogether manipulated me. During the summer of 2021 I had had enough. I cut her out of my life as much as possible. After that she stared daggers at me any time she would see me. As more time went on, I started to realize more and more shitty things about her and my past. It got to a point where it would physically hurt to see her. Nowadays even her smell can trigger a panic attack. My bro is a lot like me. A marshmallow, no backbone in sight. He says he's in love with her, even though he has admitted that he could get someone better. He has almost no friends and I rarely get to see him. I have no hate for my brother because I'm sure she is doing the same things to him as she did to me. We grew up super close, but every year he's with this woman, he grows more distant, and I'm afraid I'll lose him. Between last Christmas and the New Year's shit really hit the fan. My bro, now 21Y, came to my, then 18Y, room and asked me why I hate my ex, now 21, so much. I told him everything, the manipulation, the blackmail. I even showed screenshots of her being mean to me. I broke down in front of him, pouring my heart out, and he listened in silence while comforting me. A few days later, however, my ex came to my room. She stood at my room door and told me that we had to talk. She cornered me in my room, making it impossible for me to get out. My brother told her everything I told him. And now she was screaming at me about how I was a liar. This was the biggest fight I've ever been in. We were shouting for over an hour. She accused me of being obsessed with her because I had some screenshots, told me that she never manipulated me nor my brother, that things from our childhood should stay in our childhood, and that it was actually me who used her. During this fight I told her multiple times to leave my room. For the longest time she didn't. She eventually left my room only because I refused to talk anymore. After the fight I had a panic attack. Worst one in my life. My big sister, F23, came to comfort me. In the meanwhile, my ex went to our bathroom with medication. She took too much and went back to my brother's room like nothing happened. My bro noticed something off and ended up calling 112, emergency number. I only noticed something was wrong when I heard a medic's voice. She went to the hospital for one night. After that night she got out and went home. She had taken my dad's diabetes medication that even in too large doses causes only damage to the liver after a week. So, it's not a deadly med, a fact stated on the container. My family was a mess after this. My whole family, parents and siblings, have taken my side after hearing what happened. My big sister and mom hate my ex and want nothing to do with her, and my dad inhibited my ex from ever coming back to his house, which is the house me and my brother live in. This caused my brother to never be home, because she couldn't be there. Right after the shit hit the fan, my brother blamed me for my ex wanting to die. This has destroyed our relationship. We haven't talked in over half a year now and I barely see him anymore. I don't want to lose my big bro, but I feel like I'm out of options. I want them to break up, and I want my ex out of my life. What could I do to make them break up and fix my relationship with my brother? What can I do? Too long did not read. My brother started to date my ex-girlfriend and it has ruined my and our family's relationship with him. I don't want to lose him. What can I do? Don't do anything. If you do, your brother will forever blame you for breaking them up. Your brother has to make this realization on his own. You just have to wait until that happens. Imagine having the nerve to come into your bedroom in your own home and yell at you. Nope. Your family is backing you, thankfully, so the pressure is on your brother. The best you could do if this ever comes up is to let him know you would forgive him if he chooses to apologize, and that you still love him. He may end up choosing his girlfriend over his family, so be prepared for that and to let your brother go gracefully. Sad face. Disappointed. While the situation is terrible, you can't do anything. Try to interfere and your brother will forever blame you for his failed relationship. I'm sorry, but your brother has to realize that girls' issues on his own. If you interfere, your brother will forever blame you for breaking them up. This is a horrible situation and I'm sorry you're going through it. The more you do here, the more he's going to feel attacked and double down. This kind of thing has to be internal like 99% of the time. Probably just going to have to wait. Maybe you could send him a text and tell him you love him very much, you'll always be his sister, and you're there for him whenever he needs. All of that without pushing him to make decisions on the relationship. If she's this batshit, it's going to make itself apparent. The ex of the guy I'm dating has sent me warnings. I started dating this guy 10 days back. I like to start things on a clean slate, so I made it clear that my ex is no more in my life. He said the same. Today, his ex messaged me on Instagram saying, 1. Warning me of his suicidal tendencies. 2. Sent me screenshots of him sending her emails in which he's begging her to come back, meet him, etc. These screenshots are from exactly 10 days back. But he told me he hasn't spoken to her in 6 months. I don't know what to do now. Should I break up? Why is she texting me all this? I don't even know her. Too long did not read. New guy I'm dating apparently lied to me. Bail, he's already lied to you. This is not a solid foundation to build a relationship. She's texting you because she's a good person who thinks you deserve to know. If you're really skeptical, confirm that's his email address, I guess. You say in another comment that he admitted to everything, so what is the question? You've been with him less than 2 weeks and you've already found out he's a liar who wants to be back with his ex. He also apparently has some serious mental health issues that he needs to deal with. You aren't attached. You might think you are, but that's just hormones and new relationship energy. It's like being high. Walk away. 10 days and it's already difficult? Just walk away. Sounds like she's trying to warn you before he fucks up your life, too. You haven't even been seeing him 2 weeks and you have evidence he's already lying to you. That's a giant banner of a red flag. I'd move on before this gets any worse. Do you need drama in your life? If you answered yes, then keep doing what you're doing. If not, get out. Run away. Just move on. 1. Either he's lying to you, which should be a deal breaker. 2. Or she's lying and this much drama should be a deal breaker. I, 25M. Cried in front of my girlfriend, 22F, and now I have anxiety. Yesterday I was feeling kinda down, and tired from work and trying to do everything I want to do but can't, and it build up. I saw my girlfriend and everything was fine until the end of the night where just tears started streaming down my face, and I couldn't stop. My girlfriend asked what was wrong and I told her. She was very supportive and helped me through it. Honestly, it made me feel so lucky to have her as my GF, and she told me to just cry my hardest and I did and I felt better. But now today, I remember that and I feel a little bit of shame and anxiety over that. It's the first time I've cried in front of someone so hard. And being so vulnerable in front of someone. I don't know, I just can't sleep and wonder what she feels about it. I'm sure she feels thankful that her boyfriend can share real emotions with her. Men not being able to show tears is a social stereotype that needs to stop. She literally told you how she feels about it. Completely okay, and she let you cry as much and as hard as you needed while she comforted you. Don't let societal bullshit second guess her thoughts. When my boyfriends have cried in front of me in the past, I honestly felt so honored and thankful that they let themselves be vulnerable with me. I felt glad they trusted me, and I didn't think they were weak at all. It's actually more brave in my opinion to show emotion like that than to hide from it. I honestly felt safer with them too because I knew they weren't going to blow up from bottling everything in like they've been taught to. Yesterday I was feeling kinda down, and tired from work and trying to do everything I want to do but can't, and it build up. This sounds like some adult, man shit, to me. If you spend any time dealing with the world, you're gonna cry a little at some point. Any person who doesn't get that is lying to themselves, and you don't need unrealistic people in your life. Bro. I had a girlfriend who would make me nut so hard that I'd cry. Like a baby. Men are human beings with emotions. Women are human beings with emotions. Not a big deal. Any partner who would think less of you after seeing you cry is not a partner you would want to be with long term.